thank goodness this is a preseason, because I think we would have been in the record books for threes made. So I'm glad this was a preseason game. Obviously, that's where it started for us. We did not do a great job communicating. We did not do a great job with our ball pressure. We did not do a great job with our physicality. And so they got open looks from the three-point line because we were bad with all of those things. When you're not up guarding your man and you're watching the ball, if he doesn't have the ball, if he moves, he's going to beat you because he knows when he's moving. So you're reacting to him. And so our physicality has to be better. Our communication in screening situations, whether it's on the ball or off the ball, has to be better because we got cracked too many times. And then we wouldn't talk, and two guys would go with the guy that's diving to the rim and leaving a guy open, or vice versa. Our three-point defense, obviously shooting 54% from the three, was not good. And they took 52 threes because 30 of them were probably wide open and they had no other choice but to shoot the three. Other than that, I thought offensively we scored 68 points in the first half, and our guys did a nice job trying to execute, trying to move the ball, trying to touch the paint and get the ball out. Did a great job with spacing, a decent job with our pace, and so there were a lot of good things offensively in the first half, and then we had a few bright moments in the second half on that end of the floor. But this game came down to, no matter who was on the floor, us being able to defend the three-point line, which we obviously did not do a good job of, and that's why Golden State got the win.
Mike, over the course of this training camp, offensive rebounding has been a really big focus. 8 offensive boards, 16 second chance points. Just your overall idea of how that went tonight.
I thought it was pretty good. I think I don't have the numbers yet, but we'll get them tomorrow. Keegan and Isaac, they were combined 8 for 8 in terms of their opportunities to go to offensive glass and in their minutes, and so those two guys did a heck of a job crashing. And now, what you got to take into consideration, we shot 52% from the floor, and so there's not a ton of opportunities offensive rebounds. So to still have those numbers when you're shooting 52% from the field is pretty good, and we're going to keep emphasizing it. We're going to keep pushing our guys to do it, and part of that means you have to be not only in shape physically, because it's hard, but also have a mental toughness or determination to want to do it every single possession to try to wear your opponents down. So just off the top of my head, in what we charted in the first half, I thought we did a pretty good job. It'd be interesting to chart the whole game and go back and watch the film and see if that was accurate for 48 minutes.
Mike, we talked about it in pregame, what you might be looking for from the young guys, but what did you see in that second half from the group of, 8 guys that you played there in the second half?
We still need a lot of work. The pace at which we want to play is tough, and you can see for the new guys that it was really, really hard to execute because they were fatigued, and I kept trying to push them through it, and they kept trying to fight through it. But it's a great barometer for our guys to let them know that, okay, I got to figure some things out in order to come in and impact the game, not necessarily scoring, because I kept telling them, hey, we don't need you to score. We want to see if you can play at the pace we want to play at. We want to see if you can execute while playing at that pace. We want to see if you can defend physically without fouling. We want to see if you can communicate. So all those little things. I said we scored 68 points in the first half, And you got two guys that, I think two guys that played for us these last 2 years, and Kevin and Trey, that weren't even playing. And, you know, Kevin's a double-digit scorer. Trey's close to that. We scored 68 points. We don't need guys to come give us 20 from this group. We need guys to embrace and do the little things at the highest level while fighting the fatigue and not showing that you're fatigued. And we didn't get a lot of that, you know, from those guys, but that's what the preseason is about. It's giving those guys opportunities to play in games against a different colored jersey and see if they can sustain it for X amount of minutes. So it'll be great for all of us to get another practice in before playing these guys, because we'd like to see, or I'd like to see, if we can do a better job defensively, taking away the three, while maintaining some of the positive things that we did offensively.
Mike, it was Malik's first game since being out, you know, with the injury at the end of last year.
Yeah.
I just wonder, you know, what you thought about how he looked, and then, you know, we're hearing he left the game for personal reasons.
Yeah.
Without asking, you know, you to divulge anything. Is there just any level of concern in that area for you right now?
Yeah, no level of concern. He's fine. Like we said, he left for personal reasons, and you know, I'm sure he'll be at practice tomorrow. But you know, in terms of how he played, I mean, you know, I said this last year when Kevin went out with 2 months to go or whatever it was, and then you lose Malik with a month and a half. It's tough. It puts a lot of pressure on Fox, Domas, and then even a guy like Keon, who's starting to be bigger than what his role is in terms of trying to score and play make. And Malik showed tonight that he's capable of playmaking at a high level. He's capable, not just for himself, but for his teammates. And so to have that punch gone last year, at the end of last year, was tough. And to see him back on the floor tonight was definitely a welcoming sight for all of us, because we need this punch throughout the course of the game. You know, but like I said, the one thing that he has to do better, just like our starters and everybody else, is, you know, that the physicality defensively has to show up. And if it does, you know, and we limit them to a respectable night from the 3-point line, we get a win.
What did you think of Isaac and Boogie's energy and production out there?
One thing that stood out is Isaac played basically 20 minutes, and I know there wasn't a lot of rebounds to be had because they shot 54% from the floor, and we shot 52, but he had 1 rebound. So he's going to have to figure out a way to rebound the basketball better than that, because he's long, he's athletic, and he's strong, and so to be able to use that to go get us some extra possessions, or to limit them from getting extra possessions, is going to be huge. But both those guys showed the ability to score the basketball in different ways. You know, they showed some versatility as well. And you know, again, at Isaac's size and length and athleticism, you know, it can be a welcoming sight for us, because, you know, he came across and had an unbelievable block from the weak side. And, you know, you have a guy like that on your backside, and it can change your defense in a lot of different ways real quick. And, you know, in Boogie, he's a natural scorer, and he showed the ability to do that while trying to, as time went on, pick up full court. And so he went out there and gassed himself on both ends of the floor, and you like to see that.
Coach, you mentioned the 3-point defense, but just overall, I guess specifically with the first unit, how would you evaluate their defensive performance overall?
Good in spurts, you know. We did. I thought those guys did some nice things on the defensive side of the ball in spurts, but you know, the biggest thing is the physicality has to increase with that group, and the communication has to increase with that group. And you know, we're going to find ways to score, you know, and you know, still got Kevin out, we got Trey out. So we're gonna find ways to score, we're gonna have the combinations out on the floor to get it done, but it comes back to us, you know, being great defensively, which we weren't consistently over a long period of time, and that includes our first unit.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.